Hello, this is the Morning Gardener, and I just getting in the house. That's the reason why I'm wearing the coat. I was out there messing with the vehicle, trying to get a little thing down, and it took hours. Messing with a car took hours. I am so psyched up, but I gotta think things through because I have to get. Oh, hello, how you doing? All right, I do have some new people in the room, and I appreciate that. But I am so psyched about gardening. I'm ready to get it started. I got some of it started, but inside of me still saying put more in the ground. Now here in Maryland today, we had temperatures um, that were. Let me look at my temperature gauge here. Everything we're using nowadays with these phones. Oh my goodness! Outside temperatures, 61 degrees. 61 degrees, and I have seeds outside. They've been out there on days that it was 16 degrees, 20 degrees. They were out there. And that is my winter sowing. I tell anyone if you want to start some seeds and save on buying plants. I rolled back a old video of mine that I looked at, and it was uh, telling me that a few years back, a single seedling, one pepper plant, excuse me, in some of the stores that we shop here was $5. That's per unit. $5. I grow all of my pepper plants out of seeds that I saved. And it really, really, truly pays off. That being said, I'm excited. I'm put already put out seeds: okra, burgundy, and spineless. Um, corn, and the other one was peppers, bell peppers, California Wonder, I think is what they call it, and the other one was big gems. I like big gems, spicy but not crazy hot, and it's a large pepper. You could stuff it. You could enjoy the flavor in stews or whatever. Now, that being said, there was something else I put out. Okra, I mentioned that, and pepper seeds, I mentioned that. And it was another seed I put out. Oh, tomatoes. All which will As soon as the weather gets it optimum, they are going to be already grown up inside the containers that I put them in, which is nothing but I use half-gallon. My first time this year using half-gallon milk jugs. That's all I had, and I had some gallon jugs. That also is going to be used. So I'm excited. Now tonight I plan on putting in some more seeds, but I'm using a tray, and I don't know how successful the tray will be, but I will check and see what's going on. Started my peppers and tomatoes indoors about 2 weeks ago. Now I'm gonna tell you something about that. I used to do that, and it's a good way to do it. It'll get it done. I'd have the lights on, the heat mat, and I would let them grow. And I had a few issues because in the area where I had them growing at wasn't exactly the warmest area in the house, and I had some issues there. They would be lanky and long. The other thing is you have to take them outside and harden them off. So I said, okay, it's no big deal. Take them out there for an hour, bring them back in. Take them out there for an hour, bring them back in. Do that for about 2 or 3 days. Get them hardened off, and then you can go ahead and wait for the temperature to be optimum and go ahead and plant them. This time around, I just used all winter sowing. All winter sowing. Getting the job done. And I think I have my absolute best program this time around. Like I said before, there will not be a lot of digging on my uh, planting. And I mentioned that accident, a while back. I hurt my back and broke my hip and broke some ribs and you name it. Broke my shoulder. But I'm getting much better now. This year, I said I don't want that to be the reason why I don't grow a garden this year. Um, and I replaced that gardening vehicle, which was a Jeep Liberty, little tiny little truck. Got the job done, 4-wheel drive. I loved it. Hello, how you doing? Hope you are well. Yes, I am well. I am well, thank you. Um, I'm doing pretty good. Glad you are better. Oh my goodness, thank you. Oh my goodness, thank you. That was it was insane. 8.5 months in the hospital, and I met the firefighters. They're incredible people, absolutely incredible people. The stories they told me, I met them. I met three of them, and all of them said the same thing. They said that night, he said, when we closed the ambulance door, he said, I didn't think you were coming back out of that ambulance. And when he said that, I looked at him and I looked at the fact that he was a high ranking officer. He probably had many years experience on the fire department. He's seen it all. And when he says that, it carries weight with me. It means that he knew what he was looking at. And he said, well, he might not make this one. And I had another younger firefighter there. And he said, "We thought, man, we closed the ambulance door. That was the end of you. But I see you standing here." He said, "Can I get a hug?" He said, "I want to hug a miracle." That's what he called it. And then I met the third one, and I told him, I said, "Yeah, my car was messed up that night." He said, "No, not the car, man. You were." That's what he said. And I believe him because one thing about firefighters, they've seen their share of accidents. Wow. I remember I saw some of the pictures of my car through the police officers, um, what they call them, body cam. And I looked at it first. I had to look at it and see, was that my car? Because my car never looked like that before. I mean, it was just tore. It was tore apart, and they had to cut me out of it. It showed shots of me being cut out of the car. But I'm here now, and everything I learned, I had to relearn again. Walking, standing. Um, yeah, I think the hardest. The hardest thing was standing. I think because I couldn't stand up. And when I looked down at my legs and everything, they were just completely. Uh, let's put it like this: I hope no one ever gets in an accident. If you do, please have your safety belts on, because that's the only reason why I'm here now. Have them on, trust me. And the person who did it apologized for doing involving me in an accident. He apologized. And all I could think of at the time while he was apologizing was, I have a lot of metal in my body. I have a lot of um, trauma to get over. So it was really quite an experience. 8.5, 9 months of just pain, and I'm still in pain. Hello, how you doing, Miss Sue Miller? Tomorrow I go back to work. I want to get out there and cut some of these trees back. My trees, after I was in the hospital for a long time, they're loaded with vines. Vines are all through the trees. I don't know even where to start at. But I figured what I'll do first is I'll cut the vines at their from the ground and allow what's in the tree to die. I mean, they all through the trees. All my fruit trees, they're all through them. Yeah, the vines are all through the trees. Amazing, the vines are through the trees. But I have to save my trees because if I let them go, some of them could actually be dead already. But I hope that they're not. Spent many years growing those pear trees over in the far part of the yard. Then I got the cherry tree. It's full of vines. Um, and what's the other tree? The plum trees. They're full of vines. Yeah, yeah, they're full of vines. But I can do it. I've always had that attitude. I can do it. Like when they told me in the hospital, when I asked him, I said, "Will I be able to walk again?" He said, "Well," the doc said, "Well, time will tell." And I looked at him and I said, "He's not sure. He doesn't know." I said, "Isn't that interesting?" And I did everything in my power to make sure I walked again. Everything. I did my therapy, more than once a day. I was told not to do any more than what the doctors gave me, and I did more, and that was part good, part bad, because it made me really sore when I would try to overdo it. But I overdid it because I'm standing here now. Well, not standing at this moment, but I'm walking. I am walking. I'm not on a walker, but I can't walk that far. And going to Home Depot or Lowe's to do my shopping. I was there a couple of days ago, and I was in there where the seeds were, and I was checking out the seeds. Got more seeds in the mail. Something crazy for me. Got potato seeds. This is going to be new thing for me. You might have to get containers and have a garden. Will you do not dig this year? Miss Miller, you're absolutely right, because I kept thinking about how I'm going to handle a shovel. I don't like digging in my garden anyway, but I like to, dig a hole big enough. Like I have a shovel that's about that wide, and I just want to put a hole in the ground and put the seedling in, or the seed, and fill the hole up with manure and compost and some other ingredients. That's what I want to do, and put the plant, set it right on top of it. Um, that's my plan. But carrying a heavy 5-gallon bucket around with soil in it, or lifting a 40-pound bag of manure, it's not in the cards. I had to bring firewood in the house yesterday, and I had to have my neighbor to help me. I felt so helpless. I had to have my neighbor to help me. And I didn't want to ask. He came over, and he helped me bring the items in the house. And they were 40-pound bags. But he said to me, "Oh my goodness," he said, "these bags are heavy." And I said to myself, "What?" He called it 40 pounds heavy. Before the accident, I used to toss them on my shoulder and just walk in the house with them. But I was still able to do some work yesterday to get them in the house. I had to use a hand truck. And he laid the bag on there. I laid some bags on there, and I just walked it up to the house. I got a hand truck. It's a unique kind of deal. It has a situation where it goes up steps. I like the one that has 3 wheels on it, where it goes up the steps. And that's the one I bought years ago. It's a beautiful thing. It doesn't have air in the wheels and none of that. That requires maintenance. But I will say this: I was able to move those bags around a bit when I got in the house. Why is that? Because I was determined to do it. I could not be a person who could not move these bags. I couldn't. I couldn't let that happen. But I will say this: Winter sowing, early start, beautiful, strong, healthy plants. That's what you're looking for. I bought a auger for my drill, and that's going to help me dig holes. I have a 100-foot electric cord that will work for my auger, drill. Also, what do they call that thing? It's a chainsaw that's on a pole. So I have that there as well. Hello, how you doing, Mr. Price? And when I bought this unit, I use that unit that pole chainsaw. I used it 2 years ago. Yeah, that's right. Because I was in the hospital for a year. And I gotta tell you, that thing was zipping through those branches on them trees. Because my trees were like, they call them dwarfs. I tell people don't believe that dwarf trees stay small. It depends on what they call small. Dwarf trees get big. They do get big. I can prove it. Let me see something here. Let me see something here. Stark Brothers. And I got to tell you, where's their phone number at? Stark Brothers. Stark Brothers. His phone takes a little bit to find out what's going on. Honey Lemon Tree. I was just getting to say the same thing. Let's see, Miss Miller. I don't understand what you mean by that. You said that honey lemon trees. I was getting to say the same thing. What did you put in you put in a lemon tree? Now the tree that I bought, I'm looking at it on my phone here, and it says here, Stark Brothers. It's a Stark Brothers delicious. Oh, that's the pear that I have. Delicious pear. And for whatever reason, it's never produced as of yet. It says it's on sale. It starts at $45.99. When I bought it, it was about $25 for that tree. $25 is what it was. They got the new country Asian pear. I don't think I'll be putting anything like that in because I'm beginning to run out of space. There's one tree that I have room for that's on its way here, and that's called a pomegranate tree. It is a Russian variety that can tolerate from zone 10 through zone 6. I'm in zone 7. I did that because Zone 7 is too close for the wonderful pomegranate because it might die.
Welcome to Stark Brothers, a growing legacy since
There you go. I found the
18.
number. You should try the. Oh, okay. It's a bit. Hello. I'm sorry. What they hung up? They hung up that quick.
Welcome to Stark Brothers. To make sure your call gets to the right place, please choose one of the following options. To place an order, press 1. To check on an existing order, press 2. To reach a customer support agent, press 3. To request a Stark Brothers. You've reached Stark Brothers Nurseries and Orchards Company. We're sorry we missed your call, but we're closed right now. Please stay on the line to leave us a detailed message, including your name and phone number.
No, I don't want to leave a message because what I had to ask him, it's not something that I want to have somebody calling me back over. But I have pear trees. I have one tree that's called the Bartlett, and I have the Delicious, and I have plum tree, which is Stanley. I have two of those. I have what's the other tree? I can't remember the other one, but it's another type of plum. And so the cherry tree, I have two different kinds. So everything looks good. Everything looks good. But at any rate, I wanted to find out from them how come my dwarf trees got up to 23 feet high. When I got home from the hospital, they were all the way up at the second floor window. And I said, wait a minute, I've read the instructions clearly. It said dwarf fruit trees, 8 to 10 feet tall, 4 feet wide. They didn't do that. They must have not, the trees didn't read the instructions. They grew much bigger than that. And I know that I'm growing them in clay soil. Clay soil tends to be very nutritious. And the other thing is, the soil is not like most people's yard. They buy houses, say they buy houses 10 years old, 5 years old, whatever. And the soil has been scraped off and all that's there is clay. And then they lay down this grass and then it becomes part of the landscape. So the soil doesn't have the nutrients. Well, this grass here on this property here has been here well over 80, 90 years. Um, and I have fed my soil lots of wood chips, grass, weeds. I use a lawnmower, go over everything. And when I go over it, I take up the remains and I plant and I go around my plants with the grass clippings as a mulch. And what that does is it helps us maintain its soil temperature. It also fertilizes the ground. It also feeds the biology in the soil. It's amazing things you can do with the grass and the weeds in your yard. The grass and the weeds in your yard not only tell you what kind of soil you have by just if you read the type weeds that are in the ground or coming up in certain areas, They can tell you certain things about your soil. This clay over here, or this soil over here is very high in, oh God, I forgot the name of it, what I'm looking for. It's a pH. If the pH is low, if the pH is high, all of that matters. You have to know something about your soil. If you got areas of your yard where you see you have no grass growing there or no weeds growing there, that's telling you something. So reading your grass can tell you a great deal about what you're about to embark on. Growing in containers is great. Remember that you're going to have to water more often because they're in containers, unless you're using a different methodology. You should try the Orient pear. I don't know. I don't want any more pears. Thank you, but the Bartlett and the Delicious. Once the Delicious start producing, why it's not producing, I don't know. But I do know that it's right next to a Bartlett. I got a lot of weeds. I mean, a lot of vines in my yard now. They were never there before. They are there now. But they're there now. I'm looking for something on my phone. This is what I'm looking for right here. This is my winter sowing.
Sierra Solutions is the best partner for any new trucking authority.
With our non-recourse factoring program, there are no chargebacks and one flat.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Morning Gardener, and I finally got around to getting my bags together. Excuse me, let me get it together. To getting my seeds together and planting. These are winter sowing. As you can see, the tape on the side, and milk jugs with the caps off, and I strung them together because this is the only way I have to so they don't fall over or a little harder than for the cats to knock them over. There's my string, and there's my tape, and all the seeds are in that I'm going to do today. I have more that will go in. We're expecting some snow today and rain tomorrow. So these seeds have been moistened, slightly moistened. because I don't want to wet them up and drown the seeds. So I'll put very much in there where you squeeze, you get maybe a couple drops out. But these seeds are in there. Now, in these containers, see, that's winter sowing, the way I do it. I'm happy. What if you get a Boy Scout troop to help you? Oh, that's a good idea, Miss Miller. But all in all, I think I'll be able to do it. I'm determined. I have to do it. I could not be called a morning gardener if I can't actually garden. I have to be able to do it. Gardening, I think about 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I think about it, or I'm doing it, or I'm coming up with new ideas. I haven't lost, any passion for gardening. It's just the pain is diminishing. I can walk in some grassy areas because my balance is not real good right now. My balance is not good, and that's coming back to me every day. Trying to love too. I think I'm going to have to get in the other area of my house and start putting these seeds in because I keep saying I'm gonna do it, folks, and I'm not doing it, and I have to do it. So on that note, I'm gonna go, but we'll do it again real soon. But I got to get these seeds in the ground tonight. I have to because I keep procrastinating and not getting it done. But I have to get it done because this is going to be a very challenging year. If you feel that food is going to go through the roof and keep going up, 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 it's going to do it. We have a situation in the nation where food is going to be scarce. And if you don't want to garden or don't know how to garden, it's time to learn. And I'd like for any of you to leave any messages or any comments on my channel. I always try to get back to you. When I get the 10 truckloads of wood chips, the Boy Scouts come and help me. I don't know how you would do that because I had 2 truckloads one time, and my God, it was a lot of wood chips. That was a lot of wood chips. Yep. That's a good idea, Miss Sue Miller. That's a very good idea.